The views, opinions, and conclusions expressed in this podcast are those of the Dad Radio Hour and its various contributors, not necessarily those of Northern Illinois University or the Northern Star. The exact content of this podcast is not reviewed or approved by Northern Star prior to recording.
The Dad Radio Hour is a free-form podcast produced by the Northern Star's editor-in-chief Tatiana Salisbury and hosted by students Dalton Bates and myself, Hayden Perkins. You can subscribe to the podcast via SoundCloud or iTunes on the Northern Star's channel to listen in. Please visit thenorthernstar.info and follow the Star on social media at NIU Northern Star for clips, teasers, and sweet trailers. Dude, I'm telling you, it's great when you're pinching a loaf. If you just like pop it and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go on a Monster High.
That's what Reddit's for.
Yes, it's but it gives you an alternative when you're like, I already browsed Reddit today. It's my third poop. You know?
Well, welcome everybody. This is the Dad Radio Hour, episode 8, and that's super exciting. We took a little break last week and did an episode of Grout Fits, which
you should all watch.
Yeah, it's on Pool Noodle Entertainment. It is a more censor-free broadcast, and we do that every once in a while. But we're back on schedule for Dad Radio Hour, so this is episode 8. And again, thank you to our producer, Tatiana Salisbury, and thank you to the Northern Star for producing this podcast.
She's off doing something right now, isn't she? She
Yeah.
has some sort of special article that they're doing for the
Well, she's an editor-in-chief now, so she's
the war chieftain.
The war chieftain.
Gotcha. So she administers the face paint when they go to get interviews.
She does, yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you're ever getting an interview with the Northern Star, expect face paint.
Yep, and drums.
Yeah, so some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight are Deadpool 2, which just came out. We're going to be talking a little bit about Solo, because you've got some things about that, right?
Which has not come out yet.
No, it comes out either next week or the weekend after. I forget which one.
This weekend, dude.
For Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll also be talking about Disney and Comcast's little bid war for Fox Entertainment. I've got a lot of things that I want to talk about with that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And then what else are we going to talk about, Hayden?
And then I wanted to talk about possibly one of the greatest things that HBO has ever done in their entire existence, a TV show called Barry.
Which I haven't watched, and that's a very bold thing to say.
Oh, I've got a zinger for you. I've got a zinger for you. When I come out with my first line, you're going to go, oh, man, I probably should watch this. Holy cow.
We're also going to play Will You Press the Button? And we're not doing any I always leave my phone on. That's not professional. We're
nice
also
job.
Be
Nice job.
Yeah, so we'll be doing Will You Press the Button, and we're not going to be doing any dad jokes today, but we'll be doing that probably next episode. Because I've got some good ones, Hayden, that I need to tell you. In fact, I have one that's really good that I can't tell you on air because it's very inappropriate.
Oh, man, dude.
But yeah, what do you want to start out with?
I don't know, man. So you saw Deadpool
yesterday,
yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I had a burp just hanging back there. It wouldn't go away. So what did you think?
I loved it, and I actually liked it more than the first one. And I thought the first one was really, really good. It had a $110 million budget for Deadpool 2, and it's already up to $330 million in the box office over the one weekend. So this is interesting because Disney has released that they don't want to be doing any rated R films at all. So there's a lot of talk on the success of Deadpool 2 because the first one broke records.
Well, the thing is, though, is they kind of pulled away from that, though, especially with Logan and with the first Deadpool then, too, is they pulled away from that whole idea of they don't want to do, like, I think the biggest thing is they did not want to have their name on it, but they had no problem being a part of producing it. You know, like, it's so, like, they wouldn't have the Disney logo thing out front. In the exact same way they don't have it out there for the Marvel movies because it's just not a Disney product for them. It's an entirely different section.
Well, yeah, but they've actually been talking about just doing away with even producing rated R films, even if their name isn't associated in the marketing to it. They're just planning on not doing it.
That's so whack, too, because especially if they just purchased Fox then, too, and Fox has stuff like Family Guy. Like,
that hasn't went through yet. That hasn't gone through.
It's on there, though, so are they just going to stop doing stuff like that? Like, there's no way they'll do that. I mean, they might, like, I can't imagine they would cease production of programs similar to that in the future then, too, just because they don't want to do it.
True. They make so much money, and there's obviously a huge audience that wants to see these movies. Like, Logan was incredible.
Logan, yeah, I think Logan was outstanding.
And which this doesn't spoil anything. In Deadpool 2, obviously, they like to mention different things from the universe, and so Logan is mentioned in there. It's really
No,
great.
no, dude, no, dude. Logan. Oh, Logan is mentioned in it. You're right. I thought you meant the other Wolverine thing.
No, that's different.
So there's two Wolverine things.
Wait, so have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I saw it like this weekend, dude.
Oh, I didn't know you saw it.
Oh yeah, no, you guys just didn't invite me, so I just went and saw it myself.
You did not go to the movie by yourself.
I always go by myself.
No, you didn't.
Anyway.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If people want to go to the movie by themselves, I saw Infinity War by myself, and it was a blast.
Yeah, dude. You know what? You didn't invite me to that either. So maybe we just have a problem here that you can't seem to solve because you're mean.
Hey, and you never want to hang out with me ever outside of anything.
That's not true at all.
It's true.
So you liked Deadpool 2, though. You liked it better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did you feel about it?
I really dug it. After getting out of it, I was talking about it, and I'm like, I would go and see a third one because I think they've made enough changes to the meta, the whole story with it, then too, that I think it could stand the test of time with the third one. But I'm not a hardcore fan, so I probably wouldn't keep going to see them. But if they did an X-Force movie that is rated R, like I believe is already on the docket.
There's no way.
Yeah, dude. No, Google it right now.
Yeah, I'll Google it later.
Yeah,
really cool, though. The whole X-Force thing in there is spectacular and hilarious.
Oh, it was awesome. But yeah, the X-Force is supposed to be one of the things that they're doing then too, and it's going to be a rated R one similar to this then as well. And Deadpool would be in it then as well. So
I think Ryan Reynolds is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
The fact that Deadpool even was made because of him just makes that so much better.
Yeah.
Like this is his passion project. And the fact that Deadpool is such a crude, horrible, but hilarious individual, it adds something to Ryan Reynolds' whole performance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just, I think it's so good because of it just completely breaks the mold, breaks the norm of those superhero movies then too. But it just for me, because I'm not a huge fan, I don't know how you feel about it then too, it quickly can lose its flair where it's like, okay, it's enough of the toilet jokes, it just kind of, it's not as funny as it is.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Are you going to see the movie Tag that's coming out with Jake Johnson, Hannibal Buress?
No, I'll probably have a few beers at home
Jeremy
one night
Renner.
and find it free on demand and go, all right, fine, I'll watch it.
I'm so excited for that movie. It's going to be fantastic.
That's apparently why Jeremy Renner wasn't in Infinity War.
If that's the reason, that's really upsetting.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
Because Hawkeye needs to be there.
He was in
Him and Ant-Man. Oh, I wonder if he'll be an Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, they were on house arrest.
What was it? What did you say?
Oh, they were just on house arrest. Oh, they had a whole deal with the government that they couldn't appear in Infinity War.
See, what you do is, Hayden, is you let movies stew for weeks and weeks after you see it. The first time you see it, you're like, oh, man, that was a really great movie. And then you have this
Infinity War
unfortunate thing.
is a great movie.
Yeah, but then you think about everything, and you're like, oh, no, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
That
Until
determines
eventually,
the lasting value of the movie, dude.
Eventually, you've come to a point where you're like, yeah, not good. Not a great movie.
That determines the lasting value of the movie, though. I mean, you can't just go see a movie and go, man, that was great. I'm never going to think about this ever again, and I'm going to leave it like that.
No, but you can't just stew on it and then just feel pain.
No, I don't.
Just enjoy it at face value, and then if you come up with realizations later, that's fine. But
It's not hurting my feelings. I take myself away from that initial euphoria, and I'm like, well, I see it again. I think about it some more, and I'm like, well, let's see how sound this is then too. It's the same reason that they screen test all this stuff, but they do review and viewing after viewing just to make sure that they don't have these issues in there, and that they can leave producing the movie. They can leave that story enough times after they've seen it X amount of times and go, yeah, you know what? It still is good. It has that lasting value.
So what movie comes to mind that has lasting value recently that's come out? Do you have any that comes to mind?
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
So Last Jedi has lasting value where you don't see any of these things that people bring up about it.
Yeah, no, and if they do the wrong.
No, I have a theory that you like to take this stance because it is against the grain.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all.
Because most people, if you ask them, they usually don't like Last Jedi.
That's fine.
I like
They're
Last
a bunch
Jedi.
of sensitive, sweaty little nerds living in their mom's basement who don't know what else they want other than just Luke Skywalker to kick ass at 80, which is stupid. That's the whole problem with the books. I'm not doing this again.
I just wonder if it's like you like to go against the grain because knowing you on social media, you enjoy creating arguments.
Yeah, that's different though. Sometimes I just like to start arguments, but I mean, I'm not just like trying to run against the grain to be edgy. It really depends on like what it is. Like John Wick is objectively one of the greatest action movies ever made because of how special it is, because of what it does that other movies were not doing. Next to like The Raid and like classic, like the Chinatown or the Chinese like martial arts movies and everything. But the point is the margin there is so slim for them. So if I wanted to go against the grain, I go, there's no plot to it. There's nothing really crazy. Like there's no romance that should have been developed then too. But that's not the point. Like it does everything it sets out to do exceedingly well. And you just can't argue that. You just can't. I mean, maybe you can go, I just don't like the violence in it, which is fine. You can just not like violent movies. But I'm not going against the grain deliberately just to be edgy.
Oh, that's good. I just wanted to check.
Try me on another one.
Check
Come on,
and see.
come on.
About going against the grain on something?
Man. Yeah, man.
Let's see. What I'm trying to think of different movies or games that you feel very strongly
before
about.
you do it, I have still never seen Citizen Kane.
See, and I don't believe you because we've talked about it.
No,
there is a tracking take. There's a tracking shot, a long take.
You've told me about it
in the beginning of the movie. And I swear we've had this conversation where we talked about it. Citizen Kane is quite possibly the greatest movie ever made, and that's just like a critically acclaimed idea. I'm not saying this and then everyone's like, wow, what a hot take from Dalton. No, it's just something that it is.
Why?
Because at the time it did things that other movies hadn't. It kind of like revolutionized the way movies can be shot and the way that narratives can be portrayed in cinema.
So it set a standard that nobody else is ever going to be able to hit then.
Right. But even at that, the story itself is really, really good. Like its use of metaphors, its use of foreshadowing
but
is
now
fantastic.
You're including other things that can be challenged then too, and other things that can be taken and going, okay, maybe we can improve on this and make it better then. But it still has those special things that you're saying because it revolutionized, it pioneered the genre, it can never be beat.
So what did The Last Jedi pioneer?
The Last Jedi...
Okay, I think what they did with Jedi is really cool, and how anybody can be a Jedi. I think that's an amazing...
That has always been the idea that anybody can use it has been completely misconstrued. Like if you ask some people, like our guest last time, the idea that anybody can be a Jedi has been completely misconstrued because it doesn't mean that just because I believe in the Force I can use it. It means that because I can do this, which entirely depends on a whole slew of different things, and it's not the midichlorian count in your blood, we're not excusing that, that it allows you to be an individual. And so it takes this idea that because Luke Skywalker is special, he had to succeed. That it makes it so that anybody who wants to do good, who wants to try and really puts in the work, can be part of something good, which I think is crucial. It branches out the Star Wars movies and the Star Wars mantra about being good is that anybody can be good.
And on the flip of that anybody can be bad, right? Because if the Force is just something that people can have, then that's kind of cool to show what the next generation of Jedi can be.
Yep.
Because there's only two left, right, after this movie. You have Kylo, and then you have... Rey, and that's it.
What do you mean?
Two Jedi, like actual like Jedi that can train other Jedi.
That's debated. With a lot of that lore, then too, a lot of when Disney purchased the rights to Star Wars, then too, they deemed a lot of this stuff canon/not canon.
And the books are no longer canon, right? If I remember correctly.
It depends. Yeah.
Like where Luke can pull planets with the Force, like that's not canon anymore.
Okay, well that's something different entirely. No, but like the stories that were written, all this EU stuff was deemed the Legends category then too, so they're not canon anymore. But stuff like the Old Republic and stuff prior to the original series is not necessarily clarified that it is not canon anymore. So, I mean, you say that Kylo Ren and Rey are the only Force users in the galaxy who are trained as Jedi, can train other Jedi. That there's nothing that indicates that is true. Like Order 66 was why are we talking about this?
Wait, one more thing about Star Wars. Does George Lucas have any hands-on with anything anymore, or is he just sitting back making money?
Nope, he just stepped back.
He just makes money off this?
Yep. And
because it still says Lucasfilm, right? So he still
the
gets...
The studio was absorbed by Disney.
Right, but doesn't he have a good stock holding in that?
Yeah, I mean, he's still getting paid from it. He's still getting a paycheck.
That's amazing. That's gonna be fantastic. He builds this world and then just back.
Yeah, but he likes to stick his neck in there and talk about it and everything. And I just don't care what he thinks because he pissed away years and opportunities to do it. So I'm like, I don't care anymore.
It's like an interview where somebody asked him, they were like, what color is Yoda's blood? And he goes, I don't know, green? It's like he'd never thought about it. So he's like, what's with this fan base coming up with these weird-ass questions?
God, no, I have such a grudge against George Lucas, and I hate Star Wars fans. I really do. I hate all of them, and I'm a huge fan, but I hate them all so much because 1, 2, and 3 are absolute garbage. They're terrible movies.
What do you think? Do you think there's a fan base worse than Star Wars?
No. There's
really,
not.
Star Wars fans are the worst to you.
Star Wars fans are the worst because you can't make them happy ever. You literally, like, everybody is always just going to be pissed off. Like, you just can't.
There is a fan base that I think is they're worse than Star Wars. That's the Rick and Morty fan base because they managed to ruin that entire show. Like, people will still watch it, but I can't go around saying I'm a Rick and Morty fan because of what happened with that darn Szechuan sauce. And now everybody who if somebody walks up and they see somebody who's a Rick and Morty fan, they go, "Oh, this guy clearly throws tantrums over sauce."
Yeah, that's fair.
In public,
too.
Yeah. I have a shirt that I can't wear anymore. I mean, I still do.
Yeah.
But I think they're worse than Star Wars fans.
I don't think so at all. Honestly, I'm surprised Star Wars fans have proven to be worse than like Marvel fans and like comic book fans.
But at least Star Wars fans are just keyboard warriors. You don't see them freaking out in public.
Yeah, but keyboard warriors have a lot of say in a lot of stuff then too.
Yeah, true. Man, we talked about Star Wars a lot there. Before we get too far away,
sorry. I get so irritated, and I have all this pent up anger about people being mad about it because they're upset that they didn't get what they wanted.
So I wanted to bring up before we get too far away from Disney and that whole universe. I wanted to talk a little bit about the New York. This is coming from the New York Times.
Okay.
With Comcast going after Fox Entertainment just like Disney. So Disney, where it stands right now, they have won the bidding war. Okay, they're gonna take it. That's how it stands right now. There was a lawsuit. I don't know if you remember with AT&T where they were trying to acquire Times Warner. And it was an $85 billion acquisition that they were trying to make. And the Justice Department had to get involved because they were like, this is an unrealistic deal. Yeah, it's a merger that is literally going to destroy competition, and therefore it's going to be a monopoly.
Yep.
So that hearing ends
I'm trying to reach for my glasses, but they're not there. I'm like, what's going on?
That hearing ends on June 12th. Okay, so we'll have a verdict then. And what that means is if AT&T is able to acquire Times Warner, if they're not able... What? Am I saying Times Warner?
Yeah.
Time Warner, okay. If they are able to acquire them, then that will mean Comcast will be able to go for Fox Entertainment because that was one of the things that was holding them back from getting in there. So they're going to up their bid, and there's a huge possibility that they would be able to outbid Disney for this.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. So if that happens, that'll make me very sad because I so badly want Disney to acquire them because then they get access to Fantastic Four, they get access to the X-Men, and I would just really love to see that in that universe. I don't think superhero movies are going anywhere anytime soon. Even if you get naysayers out there who are like, it's been 10 years after Infinity War, after the next Avengers movie, it's all downhill.
No,
I think there's a whole other generation.
I think so too. I think they might change the way that they market a lot of this stuff then too, because they market it so much towards Infinity War that they really have to change the game with a lot of this stuff now and figure out what they're going to do. Because I think they do realize that a lot of people are like, all right, but people are still going to pay for them. It's not a debate, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's wild, though. Holy cow!
But yeah, so we'll be figuring that out in the next couple weeks. So very excited about that. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up about the Marvel Universe and Disney and Comcast. We'll see what happens.
It's pretty rad, though. Mm-hmm. So, real quick before I think we should close with the button then, too.
Yeah, we'll press the button, close.
Okay, so I'll make these quick. Goodness sakes, a burp just crept out. Just kind of came out of nowhere. So, real quick, solo reviews have come out. They're supposed to be pretty good. Nothing real crazy, just that it's just a really good time. It's a heck of a lot of fun, and apparently a lot of the stuff I've read is that once you just get past the fact that Alden Ehrenreich is not Harrison Ford, he just slays as Han Solo, which was contrary to the whole rumors of him having to have an acting coach on set because he couldn't act. So yeah, and then of course Donald Glover just steals the show. Goodness sakes, I should not drink soda. This is bad. Of course, Donald Glover
I'm
steals
going
the
to put
show.
a burp counter in the bottom left-hand corner.
Right? Of course, Donald Glover steals the show. Everybody's pissed off because it came out that he was pansexual, which doesn't make sense because he's in space and there's a lot of people to love in space. A lot of things to love in space. So, of course, he's pansexual. He's a player. He's a gambler.
I haven't heard about this. What is this?
Pretty much people, it was written into the canon or disclosed that Lando Calrissian is pansexual, which...
What does that matter to the story? Like, why would people get frustrated about that?
It's just people who are pissed off because he's supposed to be a straight male, which is like,
That's
no,
ridiculous.
no, he's a womanizer. He's a gambler. Of course, he's gonna love everything he can put his love into. It's just how he is.
Yeah, and if he wants to be with a toaster, be with a toaster. I don't
Exactly.
understand. I don't.
End of debate. That makes sense for Lando's character. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And finally, what I wanted to get to before we button press.
Before we button.
I'm sorry, guys. I have been sick the past weekend, and I'm like, my throat hurts so bad. One of the best things that HBO has ever produced in the history of their entire channel, company, whatever, is a show called Barry, which, if none of you have ever watched,
Which I have not.
I cannot at all argue for you enough to go see. It stars Bill Hader. It has a number of SNL cast member cameos and everything in it then too. Henry Winkler stars opposite Bill Hader in it then. Bill Hader was on SNL forever.
Yeah, I know who Bill Hader is,
cool. And it's exceptional. He plays a hitman who has to go kill somebody in L.A. and then ends up following them to this guy to his acting class and somehow just gets swallowed up in acting class and in the acting world. And it's a black comedy. So it's really dark, but it's also pretty funny, and it's about him just kind of figuring out what he wants to do in life while he's still a hitman. And it's half-hour-long episodes, and the best way I can describe it for you is half-hour funny Dexter.
I really like Dexter. Funny, though. Okay. Yeah, okay. I could be interested in that.
It's so good.
Shane just got HBO again, so that means I get HBO again, so I might have to check this out.
Barry was so good, I watched it all in one night.
Wow.
It's 8 episodes that are a half-hour long. And
But you would say that it's would you say it's the best thing that HBO has made?
No.
Okay.
That gets hard to say this is the best. And I think I haven't watched it yet. I know many people would say The Sopranos is, so I'm not going to argue that. I still need to watch it. But, yeah, no, Barry, and it's been renewed for season 2. That I think it had such a good first season that I don't know if it needs a season 2, but I'm interested. But, yeah, dude, I just cannot implore you enough to go and at least watch the first episode because you'll go, okay. And then you'll just keep going, okay. And then 7 and 8, the last 2 episodes, just crank it up to 100. I just don't care about Westworld anymore.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. Are you current with it?
Nope. I watched the premiere and then I was like, I still don't care. I think the first season ended so well that we could have just left it there and been fine. I just don't care.
Honestly, as someone who hasn't seen season 2, I totally agree. I think that the way season 1 ended, they could have had the open-ended ending. Wow, it's hard to say. And it would have been just fine.
Yep. I might wait till it finishes and then just binge the rest of it, but I'm just like, whatever.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check out Barry then.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. You wanna press some buttons or not press some buttons?
Let's push each other's buttons, dude.
Man, that made me really uncomfortable. You see my hair stand up?
I did, yeah. That's not the only thing I saw stand up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, you can't see behind this desk. Okay, so we are going to press the button or not press the button. This is a game that we play.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, and it's a website you can play at home. It's called Will You Press the Button? So we'll go ahead and get started. So, Hayden, you can
Dalton.
time travel,
Okay.
but you can only do it once a year. That's a no-brainer. Yes, right?
What?
You can time travel, but you only get to do it once a year? That's like, that's amazing.
You know, I think I would do it, but it would have to be like I time travel 400 years in the past, and then I live a year there, and then I travel exactly to where I was.
Oh, that would be interesting.
You know, like you're like, you know what? Okay, I will see you in a few minutes, Dalton. I'm gonna travel back in time, so a year passes for me.
Oh, but that's not. Are you aging though in that situation?
Probably.
That's not good then, because you would come back a year older.
Well, then I just disclose it with somebody. Be like, listen, I can do this. I would have to work it out and go, okay, I'm gonna stay like go to X spot, here. I'm gonna go to 1985. I'm gonna leave a message in a bottle there, and I'm gonna write my name on it, and then sign it with blood and draw a penis on there. And then you go there, and you're like, holy cow, it works. So yeah, I mean, I disclose it. Maybe I wouldn't do it probably every single year, but
yeah. If you think of it like that, that'd be super interesting. But
I would just go back to the golden age of piracy and be a pirate for the rest of my life.
Would you bring stuff back to this period?
I mean,
you could bring gold back.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. But here's what I would do. I would spend my time trying to find a location to put up to bury treasure and like bury things that I could take and go, you know what? I have my weight in Spanish doubloons, Spanish galleons, buried over here, and I'm gonna go dig it up, and we're all gonna be billionaires.
That'd be pretty sweet. So you're pressing the button.
Push that button, baby.
All right, let's see how we did. 85% of people press the button. So
it's an easy
makes
one.
sense. Okay, another time-related one. You can stop time, but you have no time indicator, clock, etc., to show how long you've been frozen. That one doesn't really matter much, right? Unless you're stopping time for a long time.
Can I start time again?
Yeah. I mean, that's implied.
Oh, then
right?
yeah, because I'm not going to stop time for days.
Would you, if you stop time, would you mess with people? Like,
oh, yeah.
Just take bottles out of their hand while they're drinking, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah, push the button.
Yeah, we're pressing the button. All right. We are with 80%, so these time ones, everybody's on board. Absolutely. You spend your childhood traveling the world, but you become bedridden as an adult.
Nope.
That would be terrible.
Nope.
I guess it depends on when you are considered an adult.
And
18,
what type
right?
of bed are you riding?
Yeah, if it's like a Tempur-Pedic or a ghost mattress.
Or like a wheelchair I can lay down in?
No. Have you heard that flights might be making bed seats?
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Isn't that crazy? Okay. We're not pressing the button. That's dumb. Here's an ad from Fox Now. So that's
man.
great. Cool.
You know what I'm so mad about right now? Dude?
What are you mad about?
I just want to get pissed off for one quick second.
Go ahead.
It's not going to be about Star Wars. I really want to watch Star Trek Discovery, but it's only available on CBS All Access, and I'm not going to pay for the streaming system. We already have Hulu, Netflix, and HBO.
Why are things doing that?
Because it's a way to make money, and they hit a cash cow. And they're like,
worst.
That's it. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just pirate it. Or go and buy the collection on DVD then. But don't put it on CBS. People would watch it.
Yeah, and plus people shouldn't. These companies shouldn't be trying to make more streaming services to fight with HBO, Hulu, Netflix. We're ingrained. I'm using this. I have been.
Hulu and Netflix are just like you can't even.
I can't get away from it.
Close, but I mean only because they're originals. Everything else you just. Not even close.
Netflix literally raises their price every year, and I still pay it. I complain about it, but I still pay it. So when you get a company like Disney, who is going to be having their own streaming service probably in 2019, where they take all of their stuff off of Netflix, that is so upsetting because I'm not going to watch any of your stuff because I'm not gonna do that. And I would argue that the majority of people are probably like me there.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm frustrated. Hey, you got me mad.
Sorry, dude. More button pushes. We're almost at time here, dude.
All right. Well, you press the button. You get to eat cookies whenever you want. Oh, that's cool. I mean, we can do that now.
No.
But they are healthy, and there is no chocolate in them.
What?
A healthy cookie with no chocolate?
Why is this even a button press?
I don't know. The top comment, though, this is called being an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, we can eat the so some 7-year-old probably was praying, will you press the button?
I can eat cookie, whatever.
Okay, you get a giant robot. I'm assuming you get to use it. But the robot's original owner wants to kill you and take it back. My thing is, good luck. I have a giant robot.
I know, right?
What is it going to do? What's it going to do to me?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on
Yeah,
that.
we're pressing the button. We'll do two more. We're with 53% of the people. The cast and crew of The X-File will reunite for a new season.
Well, they're already doing
that.
So.
I never watched. Really, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For every new X-File episode you watch, you must also watch an episode of The Bachelor.
I mean, I would do that, no problem.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter, so.
Yeah, I'll press the button, sure. Yeah, 38%. A lot of people don't like The Bachelor, I guess. So we'll do one more button press.
No,
You-
do 2 more because that
Two
was
more.
stupid.
That was pretty dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gain amazing godlike powers, but you are trapped on a throne forever.
No.
Well, I mean, you could use your godlike powers from the throne. So if you're sitting on the throne, you can float around with it.
No.
What's wrong with that?
There's a lot of things I can't do when I'm on the throne there.
That's not true. You could do everything that you could do walking around on the throne.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors. Winner pushes the button. Winner gets to choose what we do.
Are we going on shoot?
Yeah.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn. All right.
Not pushing the
not
button.
pressing the button. Fine.
I won that, guys, by using scissors, like I do every time.
You and CD both do that. Everybody using scissors. All right, we'll do one more button press. Will you press the button? You get a lifetime supply of any type of food, but you become prone to heart attacks.
No, I'm already gonna have heart attacks and diabetes.
A lifetime supply. What would your food be? What choice?
I don't know, dude. Probably chips and salsa.
I want roller dogs.
Shut. I'm done. Bye, guys. That's this episode.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 8 of the Dad Radio Hour. If you would like to be a guest, please contact our lovely producer, Tatiana Salisbury. Again, Hayden, what was that email for Tatiana?
What?
It's salisburytatiana@gmail.com. We will
Were
have
you
that-
really expecting me to
I
remember
thought
that,
you remembered
dude?
it. We'll have
I
it posted
remember
in the description. So if you'd like to be a guest, please join us on here. Have a lot of fun there. And you all have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you guys very much.
Bye.
Bye.